Toucan Hunters and Team Golden Age. So getting right into pick ban. We have Team Golden Age on the blue side. They did want it spelled like that, so if you're talking about in the chat how we spelled it wrong, nope, that's how they requested it. Let Toucan Hunters on the red side. Just to remind everybody, this is a best of 2 series, so that each team has a chance to adapt and change their strategy according to what happened in Game 1, because that's a huge part of League of Legends. So lots of target bans are possible, but that's something that we discourage in Game 1 of these Learning 5 show matches.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of one-trick ponies. There's a lot of, different, I guess, setups that these players all have. And so making sure that all of them are, in sync and focusing on the learning, because this is the Learning 5s program. This is something where people can band together, people can get together and actually strive in a setting which is very educational, clean, and a healthy environment. And so, making sure that you don't do these hardcore focus bans is definitely going to be something that we want to keep in contact and keep in check.
And like all awesome League of Legends broadcasts, occasionally we have some connection errors and have players disconnect at untimely times. So ladies and gentlemen, just hang on for a few minutes. We're going to turn on some music, get our players back into the lobby. We'll be right back in a few.
The world is relentless, the city won't sleep. It hardens your soul, brings you to your knees. But we can face it all. With our fearless hearts, we could be ours, and we could live for 1,000 years. We could be legends. If we all go down, if our time is now, we could let everyone know we were here. We could be
Thanks for everybody's patience. Good game to everybody. Nah, we're still going to be able to show both matches now that our players are relogged and ready to go. Fizz and Morgana, the first 2 bans that came out, they're going to have to stick to that. No changing it willy-nilly just because you got an idea of what they wanted to do. So we're going to have them committed to that, keep the integrity of the game, and getting right into pick and ban.
Yeah, going ahead and getting Fizz right off the table. He's a monster right now in the top lane. With all the rise of the tank top laners, especially with when you see, the Shen and whatnot pop up, taking Fizz off the table is going to be very, very helpful to your team. And, especially with whatever team comp you see. We've seen a big rise in the Learning 5s program gearing towards teamfight comps, especially in the lower elos. These teams are between Silver 3 and Gold 4, so they are on the lower end of the spectrum. But we found that they tend to prefer these team fighting comps. The quality press R and win Sivir compositions that you see with a lot of teams is definitely something that they're going to be wary of and they're going to be trying to gear for. But Victor and Shyvana taken off the table as well. Victor, a very strong control mage, and Shyvana, they're just not wanting to deal with all that Devourer damage.
Right, and for those of you asking about the rank of the teams and the players, this is between Silver and Gold, just to give you a general ballpark of exactly where these players are on the solo queue ladder. But yeah, like you said, a lot of teams favoring the whole click R, point everybody in the right direction, and everybody going at once. But then again, we have had coaches and teams in the program who really force their players to play different styles. I know Ozdoc's team, I think for 2 weeks, he only let them play like poke and kite comp, so definitely flexing muscles in areas where players may be a little uncomfortable. But Shen being the first one picked up on behalf of Golden Age.
Yeah, you've got the Shen taken up by Gentle Cat right there, but Asian Creeper responding with a Maokai, so the noodle fight in the top lane is going to be most certainly happening for at least the first 30 minutes of the match right there. We've got FunkMD right here hovering over the Nautilus. I kind of like this pick a lot. He's going to go ahead and lock that in. Nautilus, a very strong bot lane pick right now. He just brings the tanky stats and he brings everything. And look, here we go. This is what I'm saying. These team fight compositions, it looks like already you've got Golden Age going with this kind of Jugger Jinx comp. You've got the Shen in the top lane. He's going to have all kinds of damage. They're going to stick Jif on an 80 carry and already putting a lot of confidence in their 80 carry by picking this Jinx so early in the composition. I mean, you have the Maokai as well as the Nautilus done up, and so there is already some really good dive potential for you, but mix that in with an Annie right here and already a very, very strong composition coming out of Golden Age.
And there's a good chance this Annie goes mid lane as well. Nice Girl Smile definitely prefers the Annie in the mid lane. We don't see a lot of Andes in mid lane typically due to the mobility that she lacks. She's really easily exploited. But the fact that her Tibbers and her burst damage and her scaling itself is really not that bad at all, considering her ratios are absolutely ridiculous. So we could be seeing this go mid. Actually, a good chance that it does, because why wouldn't you put somebody on one of their comfort champs? But Diana and Tristana, the response is coming out to a lot of tower pushing and a lot of assassination potential coming out of Toucan Hunters.
Yeah, party time is known across his team and across some of the other teams and members within not only the Summoner School community but the Learning Fives community as well, that he loves that Diana mid. When the Runeclave Diana mid was a thing, that was definitely something that he thought of. But another thing too that we have to think about, Funk MD in his back pocket, he holds Diana
Holy
as
team
well.
fight.
Whoa, my God, we're gonna get that to a second. But Funk MD loves the Diana pick. He really strives on making sure to get really far ahead and pushing the advantage that way, and that's definitely the way you can do it. But we've got a Jarvan as well as a Zac pickup. So my first assumption for this, it's going to be a Shen support, and they're going to stick Jarvan possibly in this top lane. I don't know. We're going to have to wait to see what happens once the trade comes out, but my God, is this a wombo combo kind of team that we're seeing come out of Golden Age?
Yeah, there are a lot of flexes possible. At first, I was trying to wonder who exactly was going to go where before I realized that Shen support is the thing. But that Jarvan in the top lane, a lot of players like it because of the snowballing potential, the high base damages that Jarvan offers. Players like Gamsu in the LCS liking that Jarvan to really hard carry from the top lane. Asian Creeper being on more of a tank utility kind of top player in the form of Maokai. You can never really go wrong with that. But a lot of lockdown coming from Toucan Hunters as well. But this how this Golden Age team can just everybody presses R at the same time, and you're pretty much assuming that the squishies on behalf of the Toucan Hunters are going to die, because a lot of their damage, well, all their damage is very, very, very squishy.
No, you're absolutely correct. They do have a lot of squishiness, but at the same time, if they can find a way to, synchronize all of their ultimates, it's going to be very damaging, I guess, to use the horrible pun in that regard. But Gentlecat, I want to see if he decides to go for this 80 Jarvan right here, because that's going to be a huge important concept of this early game, because one of the things that you see coming out of Asian Creeper as well is most certainly going to be, his ability to tank up once he gets those items. But if Gentlecat can really push Asian Creeper out of the way, then that's going to be a very telltale sign. But I think the story's going to match is most certainly going to be this jungle right here. Funk MD, like I said, he is a Diana player. He's going to go ahead and go for that jungle. And, she, especially with having a Diana, is going to have a lot of counter jungle pressure right there, because if he can catch Idle Spark in the wrong position, then all he has to do is just use the knock-up, pull Idle Spark out of the Zac jump, and just continue to wreak havoc from there. So already two very strong storylines that we have coming into this game. But guys, we're going to go ahead and head it off into a break. We got about 2 minutes left on the delay. When we come back, we've got Team Golden Age versus Toucan Hunters for Game 1 of the Best of 2 series for the Learning Fives Summer Showmatch. We'll be right back.
Will I become what I became again? Will I become what I became when we were only friends? If not, I think I might just write again. 'Cause I remember when you said it's the smartest way if all we stay as friends. Stay as friends. your style or just a trend? Will I become the nothingness that you would call your friend? If not, I think I'll play this game again. 'Cause I remember when you said it's the smartest way if all we stay as friends. 'Cause I remember when you said it's the smartest way if all we stay as friends. Stay as friends.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our coverage of the North American Learning Fives program between our show match of Golden Age and Toucan Hunters, jumping right into the game as our players load onto the Rift, introducing our two teams. On the blue side, we have Golden Age, Gentle Cat in the top lane, Ideal Spark in the jungle, Nice Girl Smile in the mid lane, Jif on ADC, and Able Gamer on support.
And for the side of Toucan Hunter, we've got in the top lane Asian Creeper, Funk MD rocking in the jungle. It's party time on the Ari mid lane, and for the bot lane duo, we've got Toxery and Meow the Great.
Now immediately, I want to talk about this Shen support a little bit, because in our loading intermission, we saw a lot of people in chat kind of decrying the choice of putting Shen in the bot lane with this Jinx, but I actually like it, and I think we can both talk about that for a little bit, as long as nothing too crazy level 1 happens.
Yeah, I mean, I really do like it with this composition. You know, it's very seldom that you have a champion that can just, you know, dash through and pretty much get a guaranteed form of CC, and that's something that Shen brings to this team composition. You know, Asian Creeper and Funk MD, along with Meow the Great, yes, have the ability to go in and really dive hard into this, but whereas you know, kind of have to worry about the bounce from Zac as well as Gentle Cat's, flag and drag kind of situation, you literally just have to use the Shen dash to really cancel a lot of the things that's going in. So I, actually really like this decision to put Shen in this bot lane right here. Both supports are actually going with exhaust, so we might not see as much of the crazy all-in as what we see across the pro scene. But at the same time, I really think that both teams have the late game to really make this an exciting match.
Definitely true. Shen, not somebody you want to dive in and get right to your face. The taunt can be absolutely changing in a team fight, but no real early invades coming in. Something we don't typically see happen in our lower ranked matches, considering the amount of coordination and map awareness that it takes. Is a little difficult to instill within a couple-week period in some of the newer players, but both junglers going to get a leash from their good guy bot lanes.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and start both of them on this bot side, so I want to see exactly what they're going to do right here. Once they hit that level 3, get both buffs and go into it. But already we're seeing our first discrepancy right here. The Asian Creeper not doing the classic sapling Maokai start, but instead is just going to decide to go straight to lane. Going to try to freeze as best he can. It actually is pushing in his favor right here, so this isn't necessarily the best position for that, but Gentle Cat going to go ahead, get his level 2 right there. He's going to go back. He's going to have enough money to actually get the boots if he wants to, or he might decide to just get a cloth armor and go for that. No, he's actually just going to stack up on pots, going to go ahead and be good guy, stealth forward right there, and head on right back to lane.
Gonna try and out-sustain this Maokai the old-fashioned way, pots on pots. This mid lane matchup is going to be really interesting because both of these champions can snowball so hard. Stana might be getting an early snowball on as Able Gamer takes a big chunk from the explosive charge at level 2. Shen support, one of the big problems, you don't have a lot of money to get tanky real fast, so that hurts a lot early on.
Yeah, he's going to have a little bit of sustain, but generally he's not going to be auto-attacking, so he won't be able to fully utilize the Kai Strike passive as well as the Vorpal Blade right there. But no, this is something that a lot of people kind of underestimate, especially when it comes to Tristana right here. That explosive charge does a whole lot of damage if not used correctly. Or not avoided correctly, should I say, and that's exactly what they didn't do right there. We're able to chunk it down. Toxari already doing a good job of getting this early lead right here, and this is what it's going to take. I mean, you've got two very good late game scaling AD carries. Jinx by far is known as the better one just because of the AoE damage that she can pull out with her rockets, but already, ensuring an early start and trying to do everything you can to set back that Jinx is going to definitely prove helpful in the end.
Coming up at just about 4 minutes. This bot lane might be drawing jungle attention soon. But I wonder where Ideal Spark and Funk MD are going to focus their efforts, because both of the mid laners definitely have very good gank follow-up. As long as Funk MD and Ideal Spark can land that CC, they can chain it with the Charm or the anti-stun and get an early kill, so that can be a lot.
No, it's definitely a lot, and there's a lot of all-in potential, especially once they hit level 6 right here. But I kind of like how Ideal Spark went back first, and he actually got the Stalker's Blade. So he'll have the blue buff for longer, have his CDR for a little bit right there. He's going to roam up, actually. He might actually catch Funk MD out right here.
In the mid bot lane, they're fighting out. The junglers trying to meet each other, give each other some early love. Ideal Spark actually just going to go for this, going in for the elastic slingshot, actually back under the tower. Little misleading, might have been a little brave there.
He might have before the game tattooed like a message on his side, so that way when he went by, they were going to be able to see it, kind of like a blimp flying through the air. You're going to die soon, something like that. I don't know, but the fear factor is real. Party Time though, not backing up, not wanting to do anything with any way right there, and we're already seeing just so much jungling right now by these junglers. Generally both of these junglers are very good, coming into this gank with some good follow-up CC, which every lane actually has, and so a very good job by them to farm up, but I want to see them try to be a little bit more aggressive. Funk MD going to do a good job securing Mr. Krabs and his twin in the top and bot lane right here, trying to figure something out, trying to get something.
Ooh.
And
bot lane goes in for a fight. Meow the Great landed a hook onto Jiff, and looks like Able Gamer comes in with a taunt of their own, so both ADCs getting chunked down low, but the pot advantage definitely in favor of Toxalry. They keep taking a couple more dredge lines like that. It could be an early first blood for Tristana, which could lead to some very early towers. And I'm sure that Golden Age doesn't want any of that.
yeah, and while that was going on right there, you actually had Ideal Spark going into the mid lane. He drops a Chilling Smite down right before Party Time hit that mid tower. Nice Girl Smile and Party Time both flashed at the exact same time. So the mid flashes are down right here, and coming up on level 6, this is going to be really detrimental right here. Party Time actually hit 6 before. Nice Girl Smile, should I say. She's only about 2 minions off right there, but having a flash down on an Annie, even though you've got a lot of burst potential right there, if Party Time hits the right combination, Nice Girl Smile might be dead before he gets a chance to respond.
And that's the tricky thing about Annie. Sure, she has a lot of burst, and the AoE on her stun is absolutely insane. But she's still flash reliant. As Ideal Spark not very flash reliant. Everybody chaining CC onto the Nautilus. With the flash going to keep him alive. The Dredge line used so smart to hook onto the terrain to not give up first blood early on. So 0-0 so far as the top lane gets into a bit of an aggressive fight. Ultimate still up for both. Gentle Cat may be looking to go for an all-in. That burst coming from the Cataclysm and the Jarvan can be very misleading, but Toxlery force the rocket jump out. Tristana so good at self-peel.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that, you just love about Tristana, because you can just rocket jump around, pretty much doing whatever you want right here. But, flipping over to this top lane right now, Gentle Cat's done a really good job at, denying a lot of XP from farm from Asian Creeper right now. He's down about a wave and a half right here. The wave is pushing in his favor, so he'll be able to catch up a little bit. He actually ended up going double Dorns right here. Wanting to make sure to have the sustain, wanting to make sure that he doesn't get bullied out by that J4. But, this really good farming that you're seeing come out of Gentle Cat, he's got about 1,500 in the bank right here. He's probably going to wait, go back, might get a Tiamat of some sort, and then that's when the damage is really going to start coming down and really trying to put the hurt on Asian Creeper.
To everybody talking in the chat about the champ select, I know everybody has a little something to say about the pick and ban, but we really want and encourage these teams to focus more on macro play. Pick ban is something that can be relatively easily solved, but a lot of these players rather don't have the deepest champion pools out there. In these situations, coaches generally advise, hey, just go with the champion you're comfortable on. We can see that being evident in Nice Girl Smile's Annie pickup. And macro play is something that's way easier to work on once you're actually on a champion that you know how to play well. So something definitely to keep in mind as you're watching the program.
Oh yeah, I mean, comfortability is definitely something that a lot of people really undervalue in a lot of senses. It's like, oh, the meta's here, Victor's, in the meta, Victor's doing a very good job right now. I should, just play him and see how it happens. But, if you've only played 4 or 5 games on him, then you're not going to be as successful of, if you've played, 400 games on Ahri, of that sort. So that's definitely something that these coaches have taken into effect coming into this session, is that, you have people doing stuff, trying to get something right here, but
Annie, no flash on this Annie, gonna be real bad, and this stun timing not good enough, so first blood actually makes it over to its party time. Gonna party on back to base with that early dragon. Early kill, rather. Early gold is what I was gonna say.
Right, early gold. She's putting the pop star in effect. She can dance, dance, dance all day. That's a first blood, and that's probably the latest first blood that we've had in the entire program right here. A very good job by LTH to just get things going, FunkMD, and this is what happens, when you have a when you have a Diana that starts to get ahead, starts to get something going, then you're going to be very successfly. I like this itemization by FunkMD. Idle Spark trying to do something. He's showing that tattoo again as he does the exact same ballistic slingshot as he did the last time, but I really like the itemization that FunkMD pulled out. He actually decided to go for the Sheen before he finished the Hunter's Machete upgrade, and that's going to allow him to just do a lot more, upfront damage with his combinations, and when it comes to ganking, that's exactly what you want. Pulled it off right there, and party time, already soft to a good start.
Nice Girl Smile, however, keeping the CS lead. Then again, most would say that Annie has an easier time against Ahri than most champions. CS across the map, only real difference in the top lane. Able to get a nice shadow dash onto Nautilus. Also, actually looking to still engage this. Manages to back up out of there before anybody gets any crazy ideas. But it is interesting that you said that we haven't had a whole lot of blood yet, because I feel like in these Learning 5 programs, people are so eager to play on stream, eager to play with some of their friends that they recognize as part of Summoner School, and everybody's just wanting to go in all day, every day. But 1 kill so far in the first 10 minutes. This is looking much more like LCS pacing, but it looks like, as we're saying that, Nice Girl Smile gets deleted. With the Diana Ahri combo, these ladies having nothing to do with this little girl. 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, again, another really good gank right there, and this is the difficulty that you have when you play someone like an Annie who, outside of her flash, is fairly immobile. I mean, yeah, you can get the stuns off, but it's going to take a lot of coordination with all the mobility coming out of both FunkMD and Party Time right there. So a really good job. That's going to get them off to a really good start right here. And you mix in the sight stones coming out of Meow the Great, and all they're going to have to do is get a couple extra little wards right here, and this is going to be a very easy dragon about 11 minutes in.
Chat saying they need to shut down that Diana. A little bit tricky when she gets that gold early. Nobody gets rolling quite like the Moon Lady, and it looks like they're going to get some other people rolling as well, as everybody going after Gentle Cat. The Charm landing at max range ensures the kill, going over to the Asian Creeper in the top lane on Maokai. A little behind in CS, but that 300 gold definitely going to be a welcome addition to the bank.
Oh yeah, I mean, FunkMD dispersing the wealth right there, getting a kill on himself, but not only doing that, but securing one for here. But a beautiful reaction right there on the side of GA to just go straight for that dragon. They understood that Diana was top. They're hard pushing this top lane turret. They're going to get it. Actually, no, they might not be able to get it in time because you do have the teleport still available from Gentle Cat, but a fantastic dragon response right there, pushing themselves in, going to be able to get that dragon. Try to help out a little bit by getting that early 1-0 lead on that, but tower's going to go down in the top lane right there. It's going to get credited to both the mid and the jungler, and here we go. But, oh, nice girl smile, wanting some more blood himself.
And the mid lane party lane actually forcing on the defensive this time. No cooldowns available for this. Annie might have gone a little too deep as Party Time turns it right around onto Annie's face. She used her W right before she went in, and I think she didn't realize that all she had was her Disintegrate up and no Incinerate. So, just barely making it away with 20 health.
Yeah, you might be a miner, but the tower's not really caring that too much about it right there. Takes the tower shot. That pretty much was enough to kill it, enough to secure the deal. My jokes are getting a little bit better, a little bit slower at the pace, but they're still getting better all the same right there. A good chompers by Asian Creeper to get stopped up, and we're going back into it. I was good. I haven't done that one in a while. I haven't done that in a while. You have to laugh at that one.
We always have to have fun on our broadcast, but Ideal Spark not having fun here. As he jumps right into even more CC. Floplets are out. Long cooldown on those as Jif and Able Game are trying to keep it alive. Not good enough. Jello cleaned up. Jif gets knocked up. The communication coming out of Asian Creeper a little too slow for them to stay alive, and they turn around, get a kill with the Super Mega Death Rocket. Trade a tower in the top lane, though, as it looks like Team GA finally picks up their first kill of the game, but Toxilry and Meow the Great still have their eyes on this bot tower, but my goodness.
It's not over yet, though.
Not over yet. Toxilry, so many tower shots. No ultimate from Jif up. So, oh my gosh, Meow the Great just walked into that. I don't think they have the burst damage or the speed, but Party Time in the mid lane getting dove on by Gentle Cat, and Nice Girl Smile just chaining the CC left and right. Annie getting a little revenge for all the misery she was being put through in the first 13 minutes. So a little bit of a swing back in Golden Age's favor.
Yeah, they're starting to play to their initials and finally start a little bit of a revive right there. Good job by them to try to get something off right here. Toxilry and Meow the Great are going to get pushed back a little bit, but you've got such good wave clear coming out of those Tristana rockets that it's going to make things a lot easier for them to do it in that regard right here. They're going to try to push in the mid lane as well, but it's not going to do too much as Asian Creeper responds, tries to get around. A really good job by Gentle Cat to get that tower. Oh, Jif, I'm not
took
sure
the front line, but a great taunt coming out. Toxilry still chasing, jumping in, but the heal comes out, trying to kite away, and the Vorpal Blade doing work, keeping the sustain going as Meow the Great gonna get tagged by the Zap, and Ideal Spark gets revenge for the kill he gave up earlier. This bot tower surely is meant for another world at this point.
Yeah, some really good proactive strategies by LTH at the very beginning. Proved inefficient right here as GA has done a fantastic job to come get themselves back right now. They're going to put themselves up 2 towers to 1. They're actually up in gold now by about 500, and this is Golden Age starting to create a Golden Age of their own coming into the mid game.
That one was way better. I like that one.
It was a little bit of a... I was trying to make a Civ 5 reference, but it just didn't work out necessarily.
I never played Civ 5.
No?
Too much time studying, maybe. That's
It's
not true either. But taking a look at where the gold is right now, it's nice to note that they do have a gold lead, but a lot of times we forget to point out exactly where that gold is going, and there's 1,000 more on Jif as opposed to Toxilry. And getting that Jinx rolling early, you think Tristana is good at taking towers. Jinx can give her a good run for her money, especially when she gets fed early on in the game when you don't really expect all that attack speed. And the first real spike coming out with the Infinity Edge. Asian Creeper in deep, a decent amount of vision in that jungle side, but FunkMD gets taunted under tower. That's a lot of free damage, and the CC being chained left and right. Nice Girl Smile turning this game around for herself. It looks like Jif forcing a flash out of Toxilry in the bot lane. No tower to retreat to, so this Tristana has to be very, very careful. As GA, they tied up the game.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job right there. Nice Girl Small finally starting to, pull herself back into this, start doing a very good job. And you're right, you almost have an item completed on Nice Girl Small. You've got the Infinity Edge completed on Jinx, as well as Gentle Cat doing a good job at, doing his own thing and completing that Ravenous Hydra. So already you've got some really good team fight items that are built up, built out, and ready to rock and roll right here. So, you started to see some really good plays right here by Latukan Hunters, but GA doing an even better job at coming right back in this. But that being said, what I want to touch upon is going to be the ward coverage, actually, that you're seeing out of both teams right here. Yes, they prioritize kind of the top side of the map, but if you want to look at the deep wards right there coming out of Latukan Hunters, that's a really good job to move around and figure out exactly where Ideal Spark is going to go. You've got Dragon spawning in about 40 minutes, so it's going to prove a little bit invaluable at this point in time, but still, wanting to try to acquire that deep vision is extremely proactive and a very good map sense by them.
Team fighting prowess from both teams is real. Let's see which team really takes advantage of this. Scuttle advantage goes to GA, so that extra mobility on the immobile carries like Annie and Jinx definitely going to be useful for the next minute. Looks like Team LTH, the Toucan Hunters, not quite wanting to give this up for free, and why would they? Looks like they're actually going to force a rotation in mid lane, saying, hey, maybe we can give up this dragon. It's only dragon number 2 of the game, rather, in exchange for the global gold and map pressure that a mid-tier 1 can offer, but they're just sitting on rewards right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they want to do this, really. I mean, you've got Ahri that's kind of low on mana right now, and you've got such a strong engage coming out of Gentle Cat and Ideal Spark right now. Like, yes, you have the kind of squishiness coming out of Gentle Cat, but if he hits the right targets, he can do some really good AoE damage with that Ravenous Hydra there. They're going to rotate around and try to do something. They're doing a really, extended Dragon Dance right here, pushing back and forth between the river as well as the mid lane, but they don't need to be doing it for long. As you look up in the top lane, look at how many caster minions you have. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 caster minions. That's going to be a huge, huge, huge wave coming up and addressing this top lane. But
oh, great taunt as they get a pick onto Funk MD. Getting Diana out of the fight, going to be huge. No jungler, no smite. Doesn't take a genius to do that kind of math, and it looks like GA going to take that advantage and rotate over to the pit. LTH pretty much realizing, uh-oh, I think we just gave that up.
Yeah, you're not going to be hunting toucans for a while right there. 10-second death timer left right there on Funk MD. That's going to put the second dragon in favor of Golden Age, and they have propelled themselves out of the depths, have done a fantastic job at pushing themselves back into the lead in this game. They're only rocking about a 400 lead, but when you've got the team fight composition coming out of them and you slowly drag this game on to get more items, that's a very scary composition they have that you don't want to fight.
One of the things a lot of lower level players have trouble with is pushing their advantage, but it looks like they're going to use the advantage of the tower to get some damage onto Gentle Cat. Asian Creeper taking a lot. His Nice Girl Smile goes on a killing spree. Everybody coming around the backside. Funk MD looking for a target, and the Moonfall lands on 3. First damage so strong coming out of LTH. They're turning it right back around. 7-6 in kills so far, but GA forced to go on the run, not quite able to pick up that tower after the dragon. It looks like they actually clean up 2. So both teams not wanting to give it up just yet as they're continuing to push, knowing that each of the 2 players on GA side going to be down for an additional 20 seconds.
It doesn't matter how good you do, it matters more how hard you throw right here. And oh my goodness,
oh, they're still not done. Everybody wants to fight as party time gets 2. But getting the Jinx more fed is going to be a bad news bears for later on in the game. Still chasing solo Jinx, actually tags the minion instead. No tower picked up on behalf of Latukan Hunters, as GA puts a little more gold into their pockets, keeping the gold lead. Gold disparity at just
English
100.
English
okay. So hard.
I know you speak Korean, so the English is a little bit of difficult sometimes, but Latukan Hunters right there sometimes upping their meme status. You're going to become overzealous, so we're going to do it right back. Trying to keep the hold on the ultimate memery right there, as we know, is extremely prevalent in all of the Learning 5s situations in general. But you're right, 2 kills right there onto the Jinx. She's actually going to continue to push this mid tower. This is a really good job. It's only got about 900 health left and 26 gold right there on that Jinx. They're going to get this tower. She can go back and buy a Phantom Dance if she wants to. That's going to be scary.
Yeah, that mid-game spike where Jinx picks up those 2 items and starts getting those resets and running around so fast. It's going to be so tricky for Latukan Hunters, but they still continue to play this 5-on-5. Let's just stare each other down the mid-lane game. We haven't seen any crazy teleports come in from either of the top laners. That looks like Gentle Cat finally going to acknowledge the fact that he has to teleport up keep this wave pushing top. As everybody else, not a whole lot to fight over at the moment. Wave stacking up mid lane, gonna push into the mid tier 2. Like Ping's actually going down towards Baron. It is live at 21 minutes, a little early as party time gets caught out. Actually, Gentlecat gets caught out rather, juking around, but meets 3 others. Not sure if that's the way you want it to go, buddy, as party time goes on a killing spree. Gentlecat down for 30 as it looks like they're going to try and get vision all around this objective.
I think that's going to be a Baron. Oh my god, this is going to be really big for them. Yeah, they
Ideal Spark.
Yeah, they spotted Ideal Spark right there. They pinged perfectly on the pink ward. They see him. They're not going to be able to do anything. They even have the vision right there from the Wolf Smite. This is going down really, really fast right there. The Super Mega Death Rocket's not going to do it.
Only chance of them picking it up has been eradicated as they go in. Shen unable to go, so that first Baron going to go over to Lucan. Toucan Hunters rather. 2 going down so far, just 1. 1 was the Baron as they look to continue the fight. On to GA, but it looks like they're going to pick up the Baron, pick up the 1 kill, and just back up out of there. Goldie going slightly in favor of LTH at this point in the game, and this just might give them the extra pushing power that they need to put GA on the ropes.
Oh yeah, this is a very, very smart decision that they had right there. The second that they spotted out Ideal Spark, passing that pink ward, as well as the smite buff that you have coming from the Wolves right there, they went straight for Baron. They have plenty of enough damage. Party time actually started it a half a second early right there, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Toxlery was able to crank out a lot of damage. Funk MD as well. Not only does he have the Runeglaive finish, but he's also got the zoners right now. 2, 3, and 8 right here. That's a pretty good KDA by a jungler standards. Having 8 assists already, trying to do something. Party time though, knocking down at Ideal Spark. He might, nope, he's just going to decide to disengage. He actually had the Spirit Rush available. He probably would have been able to kill him. You don't really have a lot of magic resist on the side of this Zac right now, so this isn't something you want to deal with, really. You've got Dragon up in about a minute 25 right here, so, you know, you're still going to be able to have a good team fight in that regard, as the Baron doesn't really help you in outside of the minions, really, at this point. So they're going to get Cuddle Crab right here and try to find something to do, but they're going to have to do something, and something quick, because they're just getting out-rotated right now by the Toucan Hunters.
Rotations, rotations, rotations. Hard to push these waves out when they're all colored purple. At least they're not the black market brawler type of minions. I know you haven't played the game yet, but those are absolutely ridiculous with minion. They're like so massive. It looks like a blue buff, a whole bunch of blue buffs just running down the mid lane, except they're all purple and shieldy. But 40 seconds on that dragon timer. So it looks like LTH setting up camp first. GA not wanting to give this up though. But having that extra AP and AD from the Baron buff is going to be tricky to deal with, especially when you have so much burst coming out of Funk MD. And even Toxlery, the burst coming out of a Tristana, very deceptive, as it looks like they're going to actually push that wave down bottom. Rotate to the tower, pick up something for their efforts.
Yeah, they're actually going to do a little bit of a base race right here. Asian Creeper's going to try to stop what best he can right now, but they're actually going to dive him down. Oh,
dive him down, 5v1, a dive not too complicated when you have all of that burst damage coming out. As they're pushing, they're pushing, they're pushing. Who's going to get there first? Tristana takes towers fast, yes, but Jinx's auto attack stacked very, very fast as well. It's like nobody's backing up just yet. As party time actually gets dove here. He might be forced to make a rotation. This is going to be tricky. If this game ends up ending like this, I don't know what to say to both of these teams. Looks like Nice Girl Smile finally electing to back.
Oh, they're going to push, they're going to push, they're going to
Oh, they're still going. They're still going. Are they going to stop somebody? But they're not.
Oh, they're going to have to do it. Yeah, they're going to have to do it. No,
There's 5 people in the base, but it looks like one person is going to back on behalf of GA to try and stop this rotation. Everybody actually going to back after they trade inhibitors. What a situation we have here.
Oh my god. You know, chat's questioning is this the EOCS, and you know, it's kind of a valid point right there. I don't think they should have stopped backing. Yeah, you've got really good towering potential, or tower pushing potential coming out of a Tristana, but you've got more attack speed in the Phantom Dancer on the Jinx, as well as the miniguns right there. So you could have actually pushed that in and tried to force kind of like a upsetting back right there and try to get a win, but it doesn't necessarily matter. The Toucan Hunters are going to try to even themselves out a little bit in Dragons. They're going to have about 1,000 gold lead right there. They're going to take the first dragon, get the AP AD buff, and they're going to go back and, you know, sit on their winnings and try to do something. But this is a very interesting situation that we have right now.
And this is something we end up seeing in any sort of game, sport, activity. where a lot of your advantage comes from pushing small edges and tiny little windows. Newer and more experienced players generally a little more hesitant to really use that advantage. They like to have a much healthier lead and margin of error to work with. But FunkMD trades a flash for a blue buff, as it looks like actually just gonna get that blue buff up. Anyways, Anias gets popped, but everybody revolving around like a picnic. Everybody picks it up on the moon as the engage comes over from the backside. Everybody flashing in, wanting a piece of this. Oh my goodness, base is wide open. Super's pushing in. If they can take advantage of this, Party Time gets caught out. That's a lot of damage missing on behalf of LTH. Super's at the door. Could this be it? No base race here, just pure power pushing.
Yeah, I mean, that right there was just, you know, a series of bad catch-outs. I mean, FunkMD got caught out pretty hard right there, and then it was just some really good catches by GentleCat and Nice Girl Smile. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to really do anything about this. They're trying hard as they can, but at this point, you can just pretty much ignore the Maokai. Nice Girl Smile having so much damage mixed with that. The Shen ultimate's going to try to do something. Maokai's going to go dead. Oh my god, but they're respawning!
They're responding. FunkMD goes in deep. The scatter focus under the tower, costing them a little too much. But it looks like they killed off a couple of staggered on the respawn as Tox already getting bursted pretty quick. Gonna flash out, but the tank's trying to do damage to the ADC. Here comes Party Time though for the cleanup. Should be able to clean up too. GentleCat stuck in the base, no flash, and the flag and drag slowly becoming available. Like he's just gonna run in, try and stall as long as they can. But they spent a lot of time scattered between Asian Creeper on Maokai and the tower that I think they took a lot more damage than they needed to. Just hit the tower real quick, take that down, and then you can kill the guy.
Yeah, my god, is this like such a back and forth right here. And I mean, you know, even though this is back and forth, even though this is, you know, kind of what you can expect from something at this elo, the tower pushing and the coordinated catch-outs and chains of CC is something that you most certainly have to give Golden Age credit to. They have done a fantastic job at making sure that when one member hits CC, the other member is soon to be following up, and that's what you have to do when you're playing a composition like this. When you have the ability to stack CC, and you could stack it almost instantaneously, then you're going to be in a really good spot to succeed, and that's exactly what they did right here. You know, they push everything on and top of each other. You've got Baron spawning in 35 seconds, trying to do something what they can, but again, if GA can keep this up, if they can keep team fighting the way that they are, then they're going to take this team for a victory. LTH, on the other hand, they're really going to have to try to get some really good ward coverage. They're going to have to try to move around, try to, you know, pick somebody off, because you've got fantastic pick potential. You've got an 8-3-3 Ahri. That's not somebody that you want to mess with on a day-to-day basis at any point in time. And so they've got the ability to catch people out, and they have the damage. It's just, you know, Golden Age is doing such a good job at grouping up right now that I don't think LTH really can get that unless somebody gets caught out of position.
Weirder things have happened over the history of this program and in this game as well. So I know the last thing we want to do is really call it before it's over, because a lot of times we've called it before it was over, even though it was pretty much over, and it still ended up being turned right on the teal. So it looks like GA, knowing that the Baron is up, trying to make a move here. Wide open base on behalf of LTH, really discouraging them from pushing a fight or taking a fight that they don't necessarily have to. Pretty much, you lose a couple of members, you pretty much give up your base and game one at this point. GA playing the patient game. Bot inhib still not up, should be coming up in very, very soon.
Oh, glory, glory.
Glory, glory, glory going in. Can they get the lockdown? Get zoned out. Great flame chompers to come out. A lot of times ADC jinxes wait till the last second to throw that out, but Asian Creeper got a little bit closer. Or flashed on somebody, that would have been a guaranteed twisting advance. But Able Gamer actually the one getting caught up. A nice little smile comes around the outside. Everybody getting locked down. Scattered fight so far as Toxelry gets zoned out. Two going down so far. LTH turning this game around actually. Able Gamer gonna get bursted by the explosive charge as it looks like 3 down. Next is GentleCat. Everybody's there. Everybody's healthy. This guy is just a matter of time before he goes down. An ideal spark. Rotating around, playing ring around the rosy as they're going to make Jello out of Gumby. Clean ace. Actually 1 for 5 rather coming out from LTH. And they're going to turn this game around and head right towards Baron.
Yep, Baron number 2 is going to go right in their pockets right here, hanging up on their wall of successes. You know, that was a fantastic catch out. This is what I was talking about. They had the damage to follow up. A beautiful charm right there. Yeah, it was hit on Shen. You know, he's your quote-unquote support in that regard, but he doesn't have the tanky stats that you would see from somebody like a Top Shin with a lot of farm, and that's exactly, you know, what they did. They had the follow-up damage. You had Cat in a bad situation, TP'd way too late into the fight, couldn't get the kill right there onto Toxery until he mispositioned himself in the chase. But again, a really good job by LTH to do something right here. They've now got the gold lead. They have the Baron number 2. They're going to go back. They're going to buy themselves up. And again, just back and forth from both of these teams, not wanting to give up game 1, not knowing what to put themselves into a hole. They both want to win, and they're both doing everything they can right here on both sides.
Having that extra damage threat in the form of Funk MD is proving to be such a huge factor for Lutucan Hunters, because the gold disparity between the two junglers right now is at about 5,000. That is absolutely insane, but it goes to show how much these kills and assists tend to rack up, in addition to the 50 CS that Diana is ahead. The Golden Age finds a little something for themselves in the form of a dragon, as the rest of LTH says, whatever, we're just going to keep pushing mid. Vada Inib has respawned, but is completely wide open, as is their own base, so the game of finesse still being called.
Yeah, they're going to have to continue to play this finesse game like what you're talking about, because when you're in the difficult situation of both your Nexus towers being taken down as, oh, Ideal Spark, I don't think you want to be in this front line right now, buddy.
Oh, looks like he wanted to go in, backs right out.
That was a whole lot of damage right there coming out of Ari. She is sitting on a whole lot of gold and a whole lot of dragon right there. But no, you have to play this finesse game. You've got a lot of good vision coming out of Golden Age right here. They're making sure that they can see the jungle exits, they can see where they're going to try to rotate and move themselves around to, which is really good because that's what they're going to need to do. They have one fight. They ace them once, this game is over. Their base is completely wide open. LTH cannot afford to do this. So yeah, they got the turret. This is a really good job, but they're going to have to continue to be playing safe. They're going to have to continue to be playing something. You wouldn't necessarily see that from a team that's up 6k gold, but oh, Asian Creeper
gets caught out. I don't think there's a lot they can do. Trying to turn it around as everybody goes in. He's still alive right now. Finally goes down. But that backline access from Diana proving to be too much. Now they turn around and the fight goes back and forth. Looks like they're still chasing. 2 down for LTH so far. As Able Gamer goes in for the hero play, but gets turned right around. Bit of a scattered fight still. Party Time has a lot of damage. Ideal Spark losing the passive for no real reason. Why face check a bush that's not warded when you don't have any health on you, buddy? Like this game rather, going back and forth.
Yeah, you still have wave clear options right here from both side, or sorry, from the side of Lutucan Hunters right now. So I'm not sure that they're going to be, if they do decide to try to push this out and get this, they're going to have to be careful. Spirit Rush still available on Party Time? No, they just decide to go right back off. The pings are coming out to try to help out the bot lane right here. And this is kind of the situation that we find ourselves in when we cast these matches. You see these teams that are, silver, gold, sometimes even platinum in a sense. And when you get to this point in the game, you're 35 minutes in, you're starting to transition into the late game of things. Turret goes down right there in favor of LTH. But still, you're not necessarily using the control management functions that you necessarily should be. Beginning of the game, fantastic wave management. Cat did a really good job at pushing waves out, getting things going for the mega waves it needed to do, but it's kind of fell off a lot right here coming as we transition into this late game. They're finding some difficulties. They're kind of doing the classic, push mid to win kind of strategy, but against both of these teams that have the wave clear that they do, that's just not something you're going to be able to successfully pull off. And so they need to try to find a way to pressure the map the other way, because the current win condition that they're trying to use is just not working out for them.
Reminders to all the viewers that this is game 1 of 2 between Team Golden Age and Team Lutucan Hunters. Maybe their teams are going to get a chance to talk to their coaches between the matches, really figure out some problem spots that they need to polish out. One thing to play the rank 5 ladder all the time, but when you're up against a team that's been participating in the same program that you have been, definitely a different story. See, look, they're finally trying to apply pressure to the naked inhibitor of Team GA. Wave clear coming out. Is everybody going to go on a group shopping spree rather?
Gonna try to do what they can right here. We've got Dragon in about 2.5 minutes, so that might be the next time that we see it. We see this a lot actually from the NA teams. I want to see if this changes when we actually go into the EU show match for tomorrow, but this is something that we see common amongst a lot of North American teams. You know, they decide to, you know, pull this, let's fight for objectives, let's only do this kind of team fight situation, whereas you look at a lot of like the EU LCS and stuff where, you know, they rely a lot more on skirmishes. You know, you've got the Fnatic, you know, really patented style of catching people out, doing the skirmishes and stuff like that, whereas you see a lot, again, of these North American teams kind of revolve a lot more around team fighting and, you know, trying to go for objectives and stuff like that, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But Idle Spark.
Ronan D gonna get kited back and forth though. Able Gamer, the fight is scattered. Carries on one side, tanks on the other as everybody gets collapsed on behalf of LTH. My goodness, look at the damage coming out of everybody as Tristana picks up one. Looking for resets left and right. One gets traded, but it looks like GA in the bad spot in this situation. Trying to ult out, doesn't make it out. As Ideal Spark the next one to get shredded. 4 go down in exchange for 1, and still plenty of damage to be found on the roster of the living members of Latucan Thunders.
Okay, so they don't have a quote-unquote Wombo combo team, but they hit every AoE spell on 4 members of Golden Age right there. Jinx and Annie got shredded immediately. Nice Girl Smile's not smiling anymore after something like that. A fantastic series of events in favor of the Toucan Hunters right there. They're going to go forward. The execution's actually going to come out. Rip to you, Meow the Great. You will be remembered forever. They're going to push down. They're going to get this right here. The death timers are slowly dwindling down, so they're not going to be able to get it. Oh, they're actually going to disengage right there. Gentle Cat, you know, flexing his muscles and deciding to, you know, force Toxery out and away.
At least they did get the tower. Wouldn't have been possible if Meow the Great didn't sacrifice himself for the betterment of the team. Selfless support play coming out. We'll see how that pans out though, being down for 20 seconds when a bunch of big objectives, well, all the big objectives on the map coming online in the next 5.
Yeah, you got both the epic monsters up and available right here. You know, again, you know, you still have the team fighting scare on the side of Golden Age, but they just can't get caught out like that. You can't put Nice Girl Smile and Jif standing next to each other when you have such, you know, front damage coming out of both Funk MD and It's Party Time, but they're not even going to contest it right there. They had vision, they had at least a little bit of vision to understand they were there, but they understood exactly what it was going to take to try to go into the victory. They're actually going to give it up, and what's GA going to do? The right thing to do, you know, after taking something like that, they're going to push forward a little bit, try to pressure as much as they can, and they're going to try to get this 4th dragon, you know, starting to scare LTH a little bit. When you have Aspect of the Dragon as your next objective in 5 minutes from this death of the current dragon right here, then that's going to be something on your mind. It's not something you want to think about. You like my voice?
Conditions. Absolutely. I always love your voice. You're my Night Blue caster.
Oh, don't even. don't even. We're not going to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we did have Night Blue 3 take on the moniker, an alias of BC Jumpman, just specifically for the Summer School event. Go on Twitter. Let him know exactly how you feel about his donation of time. Didn't even have to check with his agent or anything. Just came right on in to help us out. But it looks like Team GA turning the game right back around as we've seen 70 times before. Say, oh, the engage coming in. Are they going to be able to take this? They give flash in. Everybody on everybody here is GA getting blown up, but the damage going back and forth. GA's turn this time as Funk MD caught in the back lane coming out of Zanya's. I don't think so, as everybody besides Party Time is taken off the table. Surely with no Nexus turrets, this is going to be the end.
Yeah, this is going to be the end indeed. That right there was playing your Protect the Jinx comp into pretty much perfection. You know, look how high Jif was right there. He was able to sit in the back, just shred everything that the frontline tanks were throwing at him. Not going to be able to be enough to take the victory right there coming out of Toucan Hunter. So congratulations to Golden Age. They're going to take the game 1 victory right here. They're going to go in